Okay, hello everyone. My name is Laquan Williams, and today in this video, I'm going to be doing the review for the season 1, episode 6 episode of the Hawkeye series on Disney Plus, which is the sixth and final episode of the season. All of the season episodes for each Marvel show that's associated with Disney Plus is only 6 episodes long, such as Loki, obviously, and Captain the Winter Soldier and the Falcon, and obviously the last one being WandaVision, which is obviously Wanda, Scarlet Witch's show with her and obviously Vision, who they are obviously married and are a couple now and obviously have a kid together. I think they had 2 kids. Anyway, so Hawkeye obviously and Kate Bishop are going through their whole entire situation where they're having to figure out how they're going to deal with and obviously get past around the fact that Kate Bishop's mom is working with the Kingpin, and how they know that now that Wilson Fisk he's there. He showed up, he was talking, he had multiple scenes, so it is official. There wasn't just going to be some teaser that he was going to be there and not just and just obviously not show back up. He was there. So it was very interesting. I liked it, that he was back. Because obviously the Kingpin is a very important character to the Marvel, obviously comic book. I guess you can say origin stories of not just obviously the Daredevil and the importance of him being in Spider-Man, but Vincent DeFerno. I don't know how to pronounce his name correctly. I'm sorry. I know he used to be on a Law and Order years ago. Obviously, a Criminal Intent. Anyways, Vincent D'Onofrio. Yes, he was on Daredevil as the Kingpin for multiple seasons. He also appeared in The Punisher as well, with a crossover, obviously, on the Netflix show. So that's what happened. The episode is called "So This Is Christmas." So essentially, what happened was Yelena explained and exposed the secrets that Kay Bishop's mom was the one who hired her to kill Clinton Barton, who is also known as Hawkeye. Kate Bishop saw the video, obviously, that Yelena recorded secretly and obviously very sneaky, um, as well, to make sure that obviously she knew that her mom was the one responsible for it. Kate Bishop obviously was upset. She didn't like the fact that her mom was the one working with Kingpin. She saw the video, and what the explanation was, obviously, that just happened recently. Once, obviously, it was found that Armand was obviously framed along with his nephew, which is obviously Kate Bishop's father-in-law. They were all framed by her because the reason why is that Kate Bishop's father owed a lot of debts. He owed a lot of money to the Kingpin, aka Wilson Fisk. So when he died, when the Avengers first happened in the first movie, the fight in New York, when he died, obviously, when the blip happened, or actually no, he died when the Avengers fought in New York. Excuse me. When the Avengers fought in New York in the first movie, he owed a lot of money to Kingpin. So rather than leaving him alone, leaving Kate Bishop and her mom Eleanor alone, Wilson Fisk, who was the Kingpin, came after them. He told obviously Kate Bishop's mom that she needed to pay off these debts that her husband owed, who's dead. So essentially, he was blackmailing her. He worked for her. He did her dirty work, and he did what she told him to. She did what he told him to do, because he was obviously in charge, and he had blackmail on her. So I believe he probably told her that this information is very important and dangerous to you and your family. You don't want it to be disclosed or leaked to the public. So you'll need to do these things for me. And obviously, you saw in this episode, Wilson Fisk, told her he was mad. You should reconsider what you're saying to me and think it over. She told him that I don't cross lines. He said it's too late for that. Essentially, she said it's the lines stop when my daughter's involved, obviously, who is Kate Bishop. So Eleanor Roosevelt basically, excuse me, not Eleanor Roosevelt, Eleanor Bishop said that had to stop. Wilson Fisk was mad. He told her that obviously he doesn't appreciate her doing this. Obviously, very angry, very disrespectful. He moved on from that. Kate Bishop went to go confront her mom. Then before that, Echo got to talk to. We obviously finally got to see Echo face to face with for Wilson Fisk, who is the Kingpin, her uncle, even though they're not related by blood. Going over with her right hand man about her family and Ronan and what happened, and explaining to her that she's chasing ghosts and she should just stop and go give yourself a couple days off vacation of rest, is what she suggested. And Wilson Fisk, who's the Kingpin, said yes, he loved her. So Echo went and did that. And then obviously the conversation had after with her right hand man. I forgot the guy's name, but obviously he's the one who's been turning his back on her, the guy with the curly hair. And he told Wilson Fisk told him that he obviously that she obviously has betrayed them. She's turned their back on him. Um, Echo and the tracksuit. Echo has turned her back on the tracksuit mafia, and obviously Wilson Fisk. What is going to happen? What's going to happen? And he basically told him that he needed to take care of Kate Bishop, and that Echo needed to be taken out. So that's exactly what happened. Obviously, we got into the party where obviously things obviously went bad, where everybody was there. The LARPers slash role players were there. Yelena was there. They were the LARPers were helping Hawkeye and Kate Bishop essentially, um, while everybody else was running around scared because the tracksuit mafia was there. They were shooting up the place, attacking people. The main guy who obviously went to go fight Echo, who was her right hand man, was shooting at everybody with a sniper rifle from across the hundreds of miles. Well, I would say not hundreds of miles away, but he was miles away from the across the street from the building, essentially like I would say like 100, maybe 250 feet possibly. Anyways, he was shooting at Hawkeye and everybody, and he was missing, and they had to get everybody out the building. Kate Bishop confronted her mother with her stepfather, and her mom told her she'll explain all this later. Kate Bishop told her mom, "It's too late now. You've already done all this. People are running around here scared and getting shot at because of you, because the kingpin was brought there." And the word was given that Kate Bishop's mom was going to be taken out, and also Echo was. So that's exactly what was going on. Also, Clint Barton, who is Hawkeye, and Kate Bishop were supposed to all be attacked and killed by the Tracksuit Mafia. So everybody there was a target, including Kate Bishop, her mom, and obviously Hawkeye. Her stepfather wasn't really a target. He got out of jail somehow, but he has money. But even though he was blackmailed by Kate Bishop's mother, he still was talking to her. But I don't know if they're obviously not going to get married, obviously, because he obviously there's no trust there anymore. So he turned out to not be a villain, even though he is a villain. Him running around here, fighting the Tracksuit Mafia with his 1942 or whatever you want to call it, World War One sword looked very out of place, and I thought it was very pathetic and corny. I didn't like it. But Marvel and Disney insisted on keeping him there so he can finally use his sword, because remember, he's a master swordsman, but we didn't see him fight anybody with a sword. That's actually what I would have liked it if him and Hawkeye would have fought with him dressed up as Ronin with his sword, but that unfortunately didn't happen. But he was beating up the Tracksuit Mafia and killing them with his sword. It looked out of place. The LARPers helped them. I really didn't care for them. That was kind of weird and out of place. These guys were like, well, we're helping Hawkeye, and we're basically Avengers now because we put on our cosplay LARPer outfits and uniforms, and we're going to help everybody get out of this building safe. The Tracksuit Mafia was attacking everybody. Yelena was getting into a fight with obviously Kate Bishop. Kate Bishop was trying to keep Yelena from attacking and killing Hawkeye before obviously she could do that. Yelena got away obviously and jumped out the window, and we didn't really see her until after. Later on, because the Tracksuit Mafia was attacking Hawkeye, he got into a fight with them. The main guy, who's obviously going after Echo, who's a right-hand man, he got into a fight with him. Hawkeye landed some explosives off that he obviously set up in the room. He had leveled them, leveled a couple of stories. I would say one story on top of the guys. They were still hurt, but they weren't out. He jumped out the window. Then obviously him and Kate Bishop were fighting a bunch of Tracksuit Mafia members on ice, as you can see right here in the picture, in that ice skating ring with the Christmas trees and the big one around them. And they were shooting at them, taking them all out, obviously. It was cool. It was nice. Then obviously Echo was fighting her friend, who obviously was close to her, and he told her he didn't want to have to do it to take her out, but he did try to, obviously, and she ended up taking him out because she told him that they don't have to run, and Wilson Fisk obviously won't find them, but he said, yeah, he will. We have to do this. I'm sorry. He's going to find you, and obviously this is what's going to lead Echo into her first season. I know what's going to happen, essentially, because they showed what happened. Briefly, it was something that happened at the end, obviously, but they didn't stress, obviously, if it was actually real, because the camera turned away, because it's Marvel and Disney, so they don't show anybody actually being they don't show executions or anything like that hardcore, obviously, because it's not a rated R or TVMA show. So essentially, while that was happening, after the Tracksuit Mafia was fighting Kate Bishop and Hawkeye, they took them all out. The guy shot at them with the Hawkeye was getting into it with Yelena. After that, Kate Bishop went to go find her mother and see if she could find her stepfather, which she obviously did not. She found her mother. Echo fought with her right hand man. She killed him. And then we didn't see anything of her after that. Hawkeye got into it with Yelena. Yelena kept explaining to him that he killed her sister. He kept explaining to Hawkeye kept explaining to Yelena that he did not. She sacrificed herself. Who was Black Widow, aka Natasha Romanoff. She didn't kill her. She killed herself. She sacrificed herself for the planet. She's a hero. He told her he loved her. She said she didn't believe him still. And then essentially she did at the end after Hawkeye did some secret whistle that only Yelena and Natasha Romanoff, who was her sister, know. And he explained to her that she told her about the Black Widow told Hawkeye about the whistle and about their life growing up and how they got separated when they were kids. And then she said, "Okay, I believe you now. You didn't kill my sister." This whole season finale was okay, but like I said, that was something I didn't like. I didn't like the Elena storyline. I thought that was a waste of time. I would like to see the Kingpin probably in another episode just to make up for the fact that the whole Elena thing was like really weird and out of place. Her and Kate Bishop talking for like 5 to 10 minutes about, "I want to kill Hawkeye. I don't believe you, and you're a liar," and like it's just out of place, and it's not really funny. I was just kind of scratching my head going on, watching this and saying to myself, "Is this finally over?" Kate Bishop got into a fight with the Kingpin, which was obviously a terrible decision to make, but she still did it. You have to obviously give the Kate Bishop character credit for that, for being a hero, because she told the Kingpin, even though her mother's guilty, Kate Bishop told the Kingpin, aka Wilson Fisk, to stay away from my mother. After he was hit by a car by Kate Bishop's mom, the car crashed into the window of some store. It was like a toy store. Kate Bishop's mom was kind of knocked out at the wheel. She was okay, kind of bruised. They had some cuts on her. Kate Bishop got into a fight with Kingpin. He kept throwing her around, punching her, throwing her around. He broke all her arrows. She was able to use the coin trick that she learned from Hawkeye to use the exploding shock arrows to shoot him back and take him out, obviously temporarily. It was okay. It was a good fight, but obviously this was a bad, terrible idea. If it wasn't for that coin trick and obviously Kate Bishop being lucky, she'd be dead because she was alone with the Kingpin, aka Wilson Fisk, all by herself in that toy store because she put up shock arrows from the inside to keep him and her in, so both of them couldn't get out. So either of them would not be able to go to her mother because he was trying to attack her and take them both out, because that was the plan. Kate Bishop and her mother and everybody else included on the hit list of the Kingpin, including Clinton Barton, aka Hawkeye, and his family had to die because obviously Echo's father was being avenged by Wilson Fisk, who obviously is his friend, but their uncle, the uncle's an Echo, but he's basically not, because he's a step uncle because they're not related by blood. But anyways, that's what happened. Kate Bishop called the police on her mom, and her mom got arrested. Kate Bishop's mother, Eleanor Bishop, told her, "This is it. This is what heroes do. They arrest their mother on Christmas Day." And then that's where obviously Kate Bishop told her mom that she loved her and goodbye. But her mom could not get away with that. I'm sorry. She couldn't live with her mom after what she did to everybody, including her. Obviously Clinton Barton, aka Hawkeye, his family, and obviously her as well, and lying to her, and obviously getting Armand killed, and obviously I think Jack's uncle is Armand. He was old and rich. She had him killed, framed Jack obviously, and had him put in jail. He got out obviously. We don't know what's gonna happen with him. He was talking to one of the LARPers at the end, this girl, and he was talking to her, and she asked him if he wanted to join their LARPer organization. Yelena was gone after that. We didn't see nothing about anything else from her. The whole idea of her being told by Lady Hydra, "Oh yeah, your sister was killed by Hawkeye, so you needed to kill him." There was no explanation. She didn't show her any proof or no evidence or anything. She just told her, "He killed you. He killed your sister, so you have to kill him." Lady Hydra was told by Kate Bishop, who obviously was sent by the Kingpin, because he didn't do it himself. He sent Kate Bishop's mother, Eleanor, to do it, that he was going to hire her, Yelena, to kill obviously Clinton Barton, and obviously that's what happened. Obviously he put a hit out on him by using her as Kate Bishop's mother, Eleanor, as an advocate to go talk for him, obviously in his place, because he couldn't do that himself. Because what the Kingpin always does, as Wilson Fisk, he puts the orders out for people, but you'll never see him get his hands dirty at all. He's very very calculative and very manipulative about that, and very precise. You'll never see him get his hands dirty, just like with most big huge mob bosses or gangsters. You'll never see them actually do anything to commit a crime. You'll know that they're the ones who are obviously putting the hits out, but you will never see them obviously physically do anything because they try to keep a low profile when it comes to doing that, because people know who they are. You can say, well, this guy's a big, huge, notorious gangster, but you never see him actually shoot or kill anybody, or rob anything, or hurt anybody. But he's scary and he's the boss. But he calls the shots and he puts the hits out on people, or the green light on people to get obviously killed. But you never see him actually physically do anything to anybody. So it's hard for people to obviously attack him, and obviously for that. And obviously the Kingpin kept a philanthropist obviously image and profile as being an innocent person, to change the image and say, I'm not the real bad guy, it's Daredevil. He doesn't like me taking down all these people who are obviously criminals, because obviously he thinks he's better than me, or he thinks he's better than the public. That's what obviously they had the decision to make. When Daredevil was fighting obviously Kingpin tried to turn the whole city on him, along with Spider-Man. You can see in the comic books and the video games where he tries to turn everybody in the town against him in New York City, to say, I'm not the bad guy, it's actually you, and you're just trying to stop me because you want to take the credit for it, keeping the city safe, even though I'm the main criminal, making sure all this destruction is happening. So essentially what happened at the end was Echo found the scarred and bruised but still alive Kingpin walking away from the scene. The police came to look for him. They said, yeah, he's gone, he's not here. When they looked for him in the toy store, he was gone. He got away sneakily, very sneaky, and somehow he was able to manage to get away from them. A big, huge, tall guy who's obviously very big and very large, obviously in his size. He told Echo he loved her and we're family. She pulled out a gun, shot him. Now, we didn't see him actually hit the floor. It's assumed to say that he obviously is dead and won't be alive, but we'll see what happens, obviously, when Echo has her show coming on next year. If he's actually alive, or she actually shot behind him as a warning shot to obviously scare him. We don't know if he's obviously actually dead, but we'll see what happens with that. They didn't show, obviously, her taking him out. Him actually hitting the floor. I know it's a Disney Plus / Marvel scene, so they will obviously didn't show that. So we'll see if he actually is still alive. Obviously, they really didn't show anything about that. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. I'm trying to see if they explain it here, but I really don't see it. If he actually is alive, but it's possible. We don't know, obviously. We'll have to wait and see what's explained, obviously. If the Kingpin will be still involved in Echoes, obviously, because story / solo show that she has, because obviously she's supposed to have her own solo show, and I guess she's going against the Tracksuit Mafia, whatever is left of them, but we don't know if he's obviously actually gone. But we'll see what happens with that. The show was cool. It was okay. I liked it. It was cool. Like I said, some parts didn't really make sense to me, and they got really annoying. And we'll see what happens, obviously. I didn't like the whole Yolanda situation. I think that was kind of a drag on, because essentially she obviously was there on a false premise, and she was there for a lie. She was there based off of a lie, so obviously she just didn't believe the whole Hawkeye didn't kill her sister, even though they never really did. So he never really did, and obviously there was no proof or evidence of that. So this is what I'm seeing right here on menshealth.com. It says, is the Kingpin really dead? Is he even the Kingpin if he can be killed that easily after one single episodic appearance? It says, keep in mind, in this episode alone, we saw the big man survive several blows, get shot by numerous arrows, even just get up and walk away after an explosion labeled too dangerous. And that's not even to mention the moment where we saw on screen that he almost had an exact Marvel comics parallel. He also was hit by a car as well. Kate Bishop's mother hit him with a car, Eleanor Bishop. So, saying, did Echo / Maya kill Kingpin in episode 6? It says, she shoots him, but the camera pulls away, and we don't see a body. Anyone who's watching film or serialized television for a long time knows that trick. If you don't see a body drop or a body at all, they're probably not dead. On top of that, Hawkeye only just began to show us the brute strength and a criminal power that Wilson Fisk has, it would be foolish to think that they just throw it away after a single appearance. An Echo spinoff series is already in the works, and we'd expect Vincent D. Onofrio, who plays the Kingpin, as Kingpin, to be there at least in flashback scenes, but probably given significantly more time to be a major part of that. So we'll see what happens, obviously, with that. It says it shows comic book moments where Echo and the Kingpin kind of identically lined up, but we'll see what happens. Obviously, it's possible that he is not even dead, but like I said before, we didn't see him fall to the ground, and that's obviously a big, huge cliffhanger / teaser that they wanted to kind of give us. But we'll see what happens with that. This show was okay. It was cool. I did prefer, I would say, a little bit more the Winter Soldier and the Falcon, because those characters were obviously together established and they knew each other. This is basically Hawkeye running around here meeting a bunch of new people who he doesn't know about, and obviously asking them for help, including Kate Bishop herself. So it was kind of a little weird, but it was okay. The show was fun, like I said before. We'll see what happens, but yeah, the Yelena situation was kind of a drag. I didn't like that. The LARPers were kind of out of place. I didn't like them either as well. But we'll see what happens, obviously, with the rest of the show when it comes on for a second season. Hawkeye with his family and Kate Bishop were celebrating Christmas at the end. They finally got to be together with his family, Hawkeye and his family, and Kate Bishop was there. We don't know, obviously, what's going to happen in the second season, if he's still going to be there to help her as a mentor, or is he retiring and she's going to be the new Hawkeye. Obviously, because it's Kate Bishop, it's not Hawkeye. It's always going to be him, regardless of what they say online. What people try to say, Kate Bishop is not Hawkeye, she's Kate Bishop. You know, he was the guy who was here first, the established character and superhero. She just got here, obviously, and she's very obviously brand new. She's supposed to be one of the young Avengers, but she is not Hawkeye, obviously. More of his history and story as dated back to like the early 70s, mid to early 70s, and going into obviously from there to now, obviously possibly the early 80s. But he has been around for a long time, and the character is Clint Barton, not Kate Bishop. So we'll see what happens in the future. But that's the end of my review. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about the show. If you have watched, if you have not, let me know why. If you are not interested in it, I understand some people are tired of the Disney Plus shows and are not interested, and they don't like the fact that they're only 6 episodes long, and some of them haven't been really that fun or interesting to people. I did like Hawkeye better than Loki a little bit. I think Loki didn't get to do his own thing. He got captured within the first 5 minutes of the episode. He didn't really get to roam around and do anything. So, you know, we'll see what happens in the second season. And like I said, I didn't like the fact that Lady Loki, aka Sylvie, was like, you're the person who's going to destroy the whole world. Then she killed Kang and actually destroyed the timeline itself. So she was a hypocrite. I didn't like that, because she was the hypocrite in the whole entire scenario. And they were actually hunting her down after they obviously got Loki at the Time Variance Association, or the TVA, and he had to help them out. But that's obviously that story. Winter Soldier and Falcon was great. Really didn't have no complaints about that, except I would have liked to see probably, I didn't like the Flag Smashers. They were hypocritical and they were a drag on, but I will be very interested to see that dirty, evil Captain America, how they fight him in the second season, because he obviously was very, very interesting, to say the least, obviously, even though his partner died, unfortunately. But it's going to be very interesting to see how he's involved, and Hydra is involved in the next season, and possibly some introduction of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't know whether bad guys or villains they'll introduce. Maybe Crossbones. Hopefully they can introduce Crossbones in the next season of the Falcon and Captain America and the Winter Soldier, essentially, because, you know, obviously Sam Wilson's the new Captain America, since obviously Steve Rogers is dead. So we'll see what happens with that. But that's the end of my video and my review. Thank you for watching. This is my review for Hawkeye Season 1, Episode 6, and we'll see what happens in the next season. And that's the end of it. Thank you and goodbye. Thanks for watching.